Good evening to Doctor and all the classmates who attend the class today. So today is our group 6 will present our topic, which is learning room management strategies, or we can say about classroom management strategies. So our group member is, first is me, Jason Kong Wiyan, and second is Chang Ming An, third is Wong Hongzhi, fourth is Chin Zizan, and the last one is Muhammad Rizal Naim. So let's start our presentation today. So we'll start with classroom management. So first point for the classroom management is everything a teacher does to organize students, space, time, and materials so that instruction in content and student learning can take place. So this means this show how teacher control and manage their classroom. So for the example, let's say about the classroom layout. So teacher will arrange all the physical objects like table, chair, and also the number of students will sit together in one row or one group. So all the things in classroom, student will arrange it. So next is about the time. So time means time is about how teacher manage or control the time in learning session. So like how many times for one task or how many times for one activity. So teacher must make sure the duration for every task and activities are not take a long time but is suitable for students to complete it. So third is about the materials. So materials, or we can say teaching learning materials. So all the materials that support teacher to achieve the learning objective in class. Example like the video, like the PowerPoint slide, or the website that will help to teaching in the class. By using all the teaching learning materials, it can greatly assist the student in the learning process. So this is about the first point. So the second point is teachers need to plan the layout and learning space in order to meet the learning goals and provide a comfortable learning environment for students. So just like what I said before, teachers need to plan the layout of classroom. So manage all the things in classroom to provide a comfortable learning environment. So I will explain it, what is the comfortable learning environment in the next slide. So here we are going to learning environment. So learning environment is a combination of social and physical qualities that create the classroom experience. So it includes the classroom management procedures as well as the way the space is organized, furnished, and maintained. Alright, so the learning environment is important because it is the one of the main factors that will affect the quality of the learning session, and in the same time, it influences the student motivation in classroom. So a combination of social and physical qualities that create the classroom experience. This means the interaction between the teacher and student, or the student and the student, are important, and it also influences the learning environment. A good interaction will come out with a good classroom experience by always give the feedback from time to time. Maybe the student give the feedback to the teacher, or the student give the feedback to the another student. So here I will give two types of different learning environment, which is the first one is a noisy, uncontrolled, and cluttered learning environment, and another one is comfortable and organized learning environment. So of course, we as a teacher, we will choose the another one, which is the comfortable and organized learning environment. Because what? Because it is the positive learning environment. So the positive learning environment can improve student attention, and it also can reduce the student anxiety. So when teacher foster a positive learning environment or learning culture, students are more likely to acquire higher motivation that leads to wonderful learning outcomes. So with the positive learning environment, we can create a good classroom experience. So to achieve a good classroom experience, all the factors in the classroom are included. This is all from me about the classroom management and the learning environment. So next I will pass to my group member.
Hello everyone, here is Zhangmi and I will talking about the physical classroom. Physical structure of classroom. Physical structure refers to the organization of the physical learning environment. It takes into the consideration the amount, type, and use of furniture within the physical space, all kind of facilities and requirements in school and classroom. Example, the basics need in the classroom such as tables, chairs, whiteboard, and the requirement in the classroom. In my opinion, for example, the smart blackboard, which has been very popular in the past 2 years, allow teachers to write on the blackboard and play a very helpful role in notating lectures. It includes the interaction system between students and teachers, which allows teachers to pay attention to the dynamics of students at any time, make it easier to help students to correct the mistake in homework. The problems circled by teachers can be drafts can be directly displayed on the screen used by student.
Hello doctor and hello everyone. My name is Wang Hongzhi. I'm from group 7. Today I will talking physical element of classroom. First, functions of the physical element have 7 titles: security and protection, social context, symbolic identifier, a tool to do the task, having the function of fun and function, award behavior and communication, difficulties of students. Next, we talking physical factors of learning environment to develop effective teaching. First one, learning facilities including state of the function and learning location take place. The location may be a classroom, a computer lab, a science lab, an office, or any place where learning occurs. Important aspects of facilities are in the learning space: a sitting area, temperature, sound, lighting, and accessibility. Second, instructional materials. Teaching materials are as achievements, video tapes, computer compact discs, and books. Factors that should be seen when beginning teaching is related to teaching materials, whether can be communized, easy to use, can be readapted, and can be replaced. The equipment and materials for teaching and learning that are faculty lab. Finally, we talking classroom interaction. It is social interruption or development between the teacher and the students in the classroom. It examines the relationship between them. It has to do with the development of the two very important language skills: speaking and listening among the learners, practice that allows each in the students' skills. It helps students to develop thinking correctly and sharing their views. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera. My name is Muhammad Rizal Naim bin Hassan. Today I will talk about classroom interaction objective. Here we have for student and for teacher. First one for student, to identify their learning method. After that, to develop the communication of student and express their own ideas. And the last one is to improve the learning school. If all is successful, then successful student will be born. And after that, for teachers, to have a clear idea the frequency of student interaction. After that, to know the student needs, and the last one is to create an adequate communication. Teacher also play an important role in achieving classroom objective. Next, I will present about type of classroom interaction. Here we have 8 types. The first one is collaborative learning. Collaborative learning is an educational approach to teach and learning that involve group of learners working together to solve a problem, complete a task, or create a product. After that, number 2 is discussion and debate. Engaging student is in discussion and debate encourage students to create their own understanding of the content and connect it to their experience. And number 3 is soliloquious, person who is talking to himself or herself. Soliloquies are used as a device in drama to let a character make their thought known to the audience, address it directly, or take it into their confidence. And number 4 is interactive session. Interactive session extend their ideas of the case section by giving the student the opportunity to control the flow of the conversation, choosing between different response. And number 5 is loud reading. In the process, we expand their imagination, provide new knowledge, support language acquisition, build vocabulary, and promote reading as a worthwhile. This is an enjoyable activity. And number 6 is storytelling. Storytelling is the original form of teaching and has the potential of fostering emotional intelligence and help the child gain insight into human behavior. And number 7 is role play. Role play or role playing is the changing of one behavior to assume a role, either unconsciously to fill a social role or consciously to act out an adult role. And the last one is conversation with learner. Okay, next I will talk about interaction in practice. We have 3. The first one is teacher responsibility. The second one is student responsibility, and number 3 is participants. My friend will continue these slides, and thank you so much for listening my talk.
Teacher's role. Teacher's role first is passive and crucial. In the learning process, students' passive learning can be greatly improve their learning efficiency. For example, students can devote themselves to learning when they are lazy and lax. The second is create a learning atmosphere in classroom. Creating a learning atmosphere allows students to actively improve their learning efficiency. 3. Motivate students in learning process. Encourage students to take the initiative to participate in learning. 4. Construct an innovative learning. This will make this is easy to understand because this will make learning more fun. 5. Use range of methodologies and techniques for language learning. Rich methods and skill can make it easier for students to absorb knowledge. 6. Be a friend and advisor. There is no doubt that forming a study group makes it more efficient for two people to learn from each other's strengths. 7. Shows them their potential. Showing up sometimes creates pressure, and the pressure gives motivation. And the last, plan the class with the better sources and or material. This is undoubtedly the most basic, but also the most difficult way. But it is certainly the key to laying a good foundation for student. I think we have three ways can talk about the rules for classroom interactions. The first way is student to student. The interaction between students can motivate each other and promote learning efficiency. The second way is teachers to whole classes. The interaction between the teacher and the whole class can help the teacher grasp the teaching rhythm more actuality and understand the overall progress of the students through the interaction. The last way is teachers to student. The interaction between teachers and the individual student can check the learning situation and make other students pay more attention.
Hello everyone, so my name is Jinxing Zhang and I'm the last person to end our group presentation. So I have no inclination to waste any time and will start to present my slides. Perhaps before I get going to my point, I will refresh back with all of you about my groupmate Mr. Zhang Ming An's slides, which is the teacher's role. Due to all of you need to know very clearly about this with the purpose to understand what I'm talking about later. Alright, so teachers play a very important role in a student life. As a teacher, one must bring out the best students and inspire them to strive for greatness. Students are considered as the future of the nation and humankind, and a teacher is believed to be a credible guide for their advancement. Not only do they guide students in academic or extracurricular activities, but teachers are also responsible for shaping a child's future, making him or her a better human being. A teacher imparts knowledge, good values, tradition, modern day challenges and ways to resolve them with students. A good teacher is an asset to the students. A teacher's presence in a student life can boost their morale and guide them to be more valuable in life. Now, to perform my point, what is the responsibilities of teachers to students perfectly? The teachers must possess certain quality. Alright? So, as you can see in the slide that there is 5 examples of teachers' responsibilities. But due to time limitation, I will just focus on the important point for the examples. Teachers must produce output. So what is output in this point? In the learning process, it occurs input and output. Meaning of output is the product of learning, or in other words, the demonstration that learning has occurred. I will give an example. Alright, so like Mr. Chin is an English teacher. After he finishes grammar class, he will do a simple test, quiz, presentation, assignment, or in a short Q&A session to his students. So his students are able to take the knowledge that they have learned and remember it and apply to it. Without output, teachers have no way of knowing that the students understand the information to a level necessary to ensure that they can demonstrate the learning. Second, teachers should give feedback on students' produced output. So what is this point about? Feedback means that any response regarding a student's performance or behavior. I've said just now, teacher must produce output after class, like assignment, and many more for students to know they understand what they have learned After all students finish the task, teachers will providing feedback. It means giving students an explanation of what they are doing correctly and incorrectly, with the focus of the feedback on what the students is doing right. It's most productive to a student's learning when they are provided with an explanation as to what is accurate and inaccurate about their work, so that the student can improve their performance. Next point is create the opportunity where students can interact. Okay, interaction between teachers and students are needed in the classroom. So, activity taking communicative approach. It will maintain to happen in the classroom. It will help the teaching and learning process run smoothly. When teacher and student interaction happens, the instruction will reach target and the gap between teacher and students in the classroom will disappear, so that the student will not feel awkward to ask questions in class. So the teaching and learning process will be balanced between teachers and students. Not only the teacher will be active in the communication, but the students will also participate in the teaching and learning process. By interacting on the student and the teachers, students will increase their language and social skills. It is important role of the teacher to make the teaching and learning process by designing the plan well. For the example, creating opportunity where students can interact is use creative or fun teaching aids that press for answers and capture the student's attention. The other 2 points is not so important compared to this point, but I will just touch a little bit. Next is a dark environment. That means the teaching and learning process should have in a suitable environment. For the example, teaching in the classroom with relaxed music and in a bright classroom. Research has found that the learning environments play a crucial role in student success. Students who study in the positive learning environment have been shown to be more motivated, engaged, and have a higher overall learning ability. On the other hand, students learning in a poor environments, those that are uncomfortable, loud, or full of distraction, will find it far more difficult to absorb information and stay engaged. Teachers should provide materials. For the example, instructional materials are videotapes, real objects, and many more. Instructional materials are essential too in learning every subject in the school, because they allow the students to interact with words, symbols, and ideas in a way to develop their abilities in reading, listening, solving, viewing, thinking, speaking, writing, using media and technology. Alright, so next, we will go to the students' responsibilities. As usual, I will more focus on the important point. So the most important is students should interact in classes. For the example, they are able to give feedback to the teacher after teachers finish the class, such as asking question or answering the question, ask for correction and help together to solve the problems. Then, students are also must cooperate with other students. So what does it mean? It means is collaborative learnings. In an easy term, it means small group learning. This is an educational approach to teaching and learning that involves groups of learners working together to solve a problem, complete a task, or assignment. So in a small group learning has been shown to not only develop higher level thinking skills in students, but boost their confidence and self-esteem as well. Group projects can maximize educational experience by demonstrating the materials while improving social and interpersonal skills. Students learn how to work with various types of learners and develop their leadership skills. Next, students should use the language learning. Language learning is broadly defined as developing the ability to communicate in the second foreign language. Many cognitive benefits of learning language are undeniable. Students who speak more than one language have improved memories, problem solving, and critical thinking skills, enhanced concentration, ability to multitask, and better listening skills. Alright, so the last one is teachers should be creating a positive learning environment. Research has shown that an engaged learning environment increases students' attention and focus, promotes meaningful learning experience, encourages high level of student performance, and motivate them students to practice higher level critical thinking skills. For the example, encourage all students to participate in class discussion. World-class discussion can encourage students to learn from one another and to articulate course content in their own words. While generally not conducive to covering large amount of content, the interactive dynamic of discussion can help students learn and motivate them to complete homework and to prepare for class, so that they are able to increase students' interest and engagement. And also, teacher mixed with discussion can help maintain students' focus. As they discuss their answers, they get different perspectives on the topic. Good question and answer can get students to think deeply and make connection. Next is encourage students to be inquisitive. It means that curiosity. Curiosity is the key of the students' success now and the future. They are going to enter a world where they don't know the problems, so there absolutely is not any single answer. In fact, studies show that when students are curious about a subject, they are much more likely to remember information they learn about the subject. One of the strategies encourage students to be inquisitive is encourage more questions in the classroom. Curiosity most often begins with why. Why does the natural gas burn blue? Why is the blue spell blue, not blue? Why does the wind blow? If you want to fire up your students' curiosity, you should avoid giving a dry lectures, which means that you explain everything. Instead, try designing your class so that you are posing questions, either implicitly or explicitly, and be sure to leave openings for students to participate and ask questions about what they are learning. Next is maintain control of the room. Classroom management is a term teachers use to describe the process of ensuring the classroom lesson runs smoothly without disruptive behavior from students, promoting the delivery of instruction. Teachers should monitor own behavior when responding to students in managing a classroom. For the example, engage with students. When a student is inattentive, rowdy, or challenging, it distracts others. As they are teaching, try making friendly eye contact with the students and avoid scolding them. Encourage them to focus what is being taught by asking questions and using names. Because sometimes disruption is just misguided energy that simply needs to be invited to the conversation. When students know what to expect from teachers and what teachers expect from them, they are more likely to be more productive learners.